Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more stories and insights like this one. Today I want to share something deeply personal, a journey that many of you might relate to, the story of how I chased my dreams. Despite a lack of support from the very people who were supposed to be my biggest cheerleaders, my parents, growing up I always had this fire in my belly, this burning desire to create, to innovate, to be more than just ordinary. I loved art, I loved writing, I loved anything that let my imagination run wild. But every time I tried to express these passions, I was met with skepticism, sometimes even outright dismissal. My parents, bless their hearts, were practical people. They saw a clear path: school, a stable job, financial security, and anything that veered off that path was, in their eyes, a risky gamble, a childish fantasy. I remember distinctly, in high school, when I excitedly told them I wanted to pursue a career and mention a specific creative field, for example, graphic design, filmmaking, writing. The conversation was brief. My dad scoffed and said, "That's not a real job, you can't make a living doing that." My mom, usually softer, added, "Honey, we just want you to be safe and secure. Why don't you consider something more traditional, like accounting or teaching?" It wasn't malicious. I truly believe they thought they were protecting me, steering me towards what they believed was a better life. But for a young, hopeful heart, it felt like a cold shower on a blazing fire. Those words stung. They echoed in my mind for years. Every time I picked up a paintbrush, or started typing out a story, or dreamt of creating something big, I'd hear their voices. It wasn't just discouragement. It felt like a judgment on my very essence. I started to doubt myself, to question if my dreams were indeed foolish. Maybe they were right. Maybe I should just conform, pick a safe path, and forget all these wild ambitions. For a while, I tried to do just that. I even enrolled in a college program that was somewhat aligned with their expectations, something practical, but my heart wasn't in it. Every lecture felt like a chore, every assignment a burden. I was going through the motions and I could feel a part of me fading away, losing its vibrancy. It was like living in grayscale when I yearned for color. Then, one day something shifted. I looked in the mirror and realized I wasn't happy. I was living a life dictated by someone else's fears, not my own hopes. And that's when I made a decision, a silent vow to myself. I was going to pursue my dreams, not to spite my parents, but to prove to myself that I could. To prove that my passions weren't just fleeting whims, but powerful forces that could shape my future. It wasn't easy, not by a long shot. I worked multiple part-time jobs to support myself, often studying and creating late into the night when everyone else was asleep. I faced countless rejections, heard no more times than I could count, and there were moments of profound doubt and loneliness. I remember ramen noodles becoming a staple, and sleeping on a friend's couch for a few months just to make ends meet while I poured everything into my craft. My parents remained skeptical. Calls would often end with them asking, "So, when are you going to get a real job? Or are you still playing around with that hobby?" It was tough, because I craved their approval, their belief. But their lack of support, surprisingly, became a strange kind of fuel. It made me more determined, more resilient. Every small victory, every tiny step forward, felt like a monumental triumph because I was doing it all on my own terms. I started small, mentioned specific early efforts. For example, I launched a small online portfolio. I began freelancing for local businesses. I entered every competition I could find. I networked tirelessly, learned new skills, failed, picked myself up, and learned some more. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, things started to change. My work got better. I started getting noticed, and opportunities began to trickle in. That trickle turned into a stream, and eventually, into a steady flow. Years passed, and through sheer grit and unwavering belief in my vision, I started to build something tangible. Mention your current success in general terms. For example, my design agency started landing major clients. My writing took off and I published my first book. My YouTube channel began to grow exponentially. I was doing what I loved, making a living from it, and building a life that felt authentic and fulfilling. And then came the moment when my parents finally saw it. It wasn't a grand revelation. It was more subtle. Maybe it was when they saw an article about my work, or when a family friend mentioned how well I was doing, or perhaps when they saw the financial stability that had finally come with pursuing my passion. They saw the tangible results of my dedication, the success that had blossomed from what they once called a hobby. Their tune began to change. First it was a hesitant, "We're proud of you." Then, it became genuine admiration. "We always knew you had it in you." It was a moment of healing, of understanding. And while it would have been wonderful to have their unwavering support from day one, their eventual acceptance, hard won as it was, felt incredibly validating. The biggest lesson I learned from all of this is not about proving anyone wrong, but about proving yourself right. It's about listening to that inner voice, that passion that whispers to you, even when the world outside tries to shout it down. It's about having the courage to forge your own path, even when it's scary and uncertain, and even when the people you love don't understand. Your dreams are valid, your passions are powerful. Don't let anyone, not even your own family, convince you to dim your light. If you have a dream, nurture it, fight for it, and believe in it with every fiber of your being. Because the most beautiful success story is the one you write for yourself, with conviction and courage. I hope my story resonates with some of you out there who might be feeling unheard or unsupported. Remember, your journey is uniquely yours, and you have the strength within you to make it extraordinary. If you connected with this story, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever felt unsupported in pursuing your dreams? How did you overcome it? I'd love to hear your experiences. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.